This has been a tough one, my friends. I mean, 2023 has been a great year for football boots, and in today's video, I've sat down to list what I think are the 5 best new football boots of the year that's just passed. And I have had quite a lot of boots to choose from, to be honest. I mean, we've had a new Tiempo, a new Phantom Luna, there's been 2 new Predators actually, a new X, a new Copa, a new Tekela Low, a new Mizuno Morelia Neo, 2 new Skechers boots, a Puma King, Future, and Ultra. I mean, it has been wild. And after, well, let's just say a lot of back and forth with myself and revising the list a few times, here are my top 5 best new football boots of 2023, in my opinion. And as always, we start out in 5th place. And you might already now think,
what on earth is this sorcery? How can you have 3 boots for the same spot, Jay? That's not on.
But here's the thing. I've always had 3 candidates for this. I've had a really tough time deciding, and I don't know how many times I've actually shuffled them around on the list. I went like, the Legends have to be in, but then, the Skechers SKX01, but the Tekela V4 Pro Lows are also great, and I had to make a decision. So I ended up going with the Tekela V4 Pro Lows from New Balance because of this absolutely sensationally soft hypo-knit upper here. It fits so well right out of the box. It's super comfortable, has a very nice, really balanced feeling on the ball, a super unique outsole that's both comfortable and feels very special when you change direction, and it's super light, and there's just no, pardon my French, but there's just no bullshit with this boot. And it's one of those boots that I couldn't leave it out, even if that meant sacrificing the Legend 10 and the SKX01. And I just had to find myself in a situation where I said, if I had a match right now, which of the 3 would I wear? And I had to go with the Tekelas, even though the other 2 are great boots. And especially at the price. I mean, awesome value for money. But let's then talk about 4th place, where I've gone with the adidas Copa Pure Plus 2, which has kind of taken this whole formula from the Mizuno Morelia Neo and it's just run with it. And it's actually doing really well. I mean, you have this super soft calf leather fusion skin forefoot that is very, very comfortable, very sleek around the foot, and just feels super good. The fit in the rest of the boot is also top, I would say. It's relatively lightweight, and you have this torsion frame outsole from originally the Nemesis that just works. It's pretty no-nonsense, has got good stability, and overall, the boot is one of those that it keeps impressing me every time I whip it out and put it on, because it does a little bit of everything. It's lightweight, lovely touch. And for 250 euros, I mean, it's not exactly cheap, but it's a pretty good alternative to the Morelia Neos if you want something that is also a little bit wider. It's a great boot. And actually, for 3rd, we stay with Adidas and the X Crazyfast Plus, which, I'll be honest, for a long time, it was in contention for top spot of the year, because I've just worn it and enjoyed it quite a lot in 2023. And of course, the X Crazyfast Plus it's a super niche, very specialized boot, but if you're into that, and you can live with the whole trade-off of having such a thin, lightweight boot, it is absolutely phenomenal. Because yes, the upper is paper thin, but I found it to really fit very well, especially because of the U-throw tongue. You get a razor-sharp touch on the ball. If you like that, great. And of course, the outsole here just makes it feel super, super fast. Very aggressive, very, very snappy. And yeah, the price it's very high, and it's probably too expensive. But if you want the most hardcore, the most extreme speed boot experience out there, this is it. And for me, the X Crazyfast Plus, alongside the Mizuno Alpha, is the best speed boot on the market. But there is, of course, also the actual Morelia Neo, the Mizuno Morelia Neo 4 Beta Japan, which was also updated this year. And as you can see, I've surprised even myself a little bit by putting this in 2nd. If you know me, you know that the Morelia Neo has typically been number 1 every time I had the chance. And it's still one of the best boots around. Look, they didn't change that much from the 3, only improved the stability in the midfoot and heel a little bit, which for me means that it's still one of, if not arguably the best boot on the market. But, and there is a but, they also upped the price by 10 euros to now an eye-watering 350 euros. And yeah, the Morelia Neo Beta Japan is the Rolls-Royce of football boots. It is the creme de la creme, the best of the best. Call it what you want. But also, it's getting a bit out of hand now. I would still buy it without blinking because it's so good. But, with these only minor improvements and the elites being as good as they are, nah. And for that reason alone, it can only be second. But now it's time for the honorable mentions, with a huge emphasis on honorable here. And honestly, I feel a little bit rough about this, because am I really going to leave the Legend 10 Elites out? Really? I mean, it does so many things right. The Fly Touch Plus upper is lovely. It offers a really good fit. Lightweight, actually feels good on the ball, and just, I like to play in it a lot. But given the fact that the Tiempo Legend 10 gets beaten at its own Tiempo game by the Copa Pure 2, I mean, it just, they call it a Tiempo, but it's not really feeling like a Tiempo. And I mean, if they had launched this as a CTR 360 Maestro 4, maybe the reception would have been different, and also, to be fair, a little bit better. So, yeah, great boot, but Same thing can be said about the SKX01, which I also feel is a bit harsh to leave out of the top 5. Again, it does many things right. It's super well built, lovely tooling, very soft uppers, great fit actually, and lots of good texture on the ball. But for me, at the end of the day, I just rather wear the Tekelas over these because of the really square, almost overly exaggerated anatomical toe box here. And so, it is what it is, but great boots. Same thing can be said for the Razors. Also like them a lot, but again, the shape of the toe box, if it had had the same sleek fit of an X, for example, different story. Puma King Ultimate, there are a few things to work on, and I like the Fly Touch Plus better than K-Better as a synthetic leather, but it's a nice, sleek, pretty comfortable option that it deserves a mention. And finally, the Puma Future 7 Ultimate, which of course it's a t-shirt boot, so it doesn't really count as a 2023 boot as the whole thing comes out in 2024, but it's really comfortable, and if you want to try the future of the future, you can go and pick it up, but it doesn't really count. Never in consideration. And that leaves us with number 1, the best new boot of the year. And for me, it had to be the Adidas Predator Elite, which I realize might be a little bit controversial with all the tongue-loving people out there. And don't get me wrong, I like it. Nostalgia. Great to have it back. Woohoo! All that stuff. Great boot. But personally, I'm just vibing a little bit more with the short-tongued Elite version, which on paper, apart from the tongue, it's the same everything. So regardless of which you want, you get a phenomenal football boot here. This new last that's relatively snug but also really comfortable. You get the Hypertouch 2.0 upper, which feels very good out of the box, but then only gets better and better as you break it in. And then you have a very good, but still not intrusive level of grip from the SL rubber strike skin fins here. And all of that sounds like it should be heavy AF. Like a really big chunky package, but this weighs 208 grams, and with the tongue, the Plus weighs 215 grams, so it's never chunky either. And I reckon that this is probably my favorite Pred to wear, at least since the Adi Power, and we could talk longer. And if you're even remotely interested in it, I mean, just go out there and try it. Phenomenal. And to think where Adidas was with the Edge just in early 2022, that's one hell of a comeback story. So these are, in my opinion at least, the top 5, 6 best new releases of 2023. And you might be sat out there nodding in somewhat agreement, or you might be fuming that I've left out your favorite boots. But no matter what, damn, what a year. And I mean, I haven't even included the Mizuno Alphas, the Nike Mercurials, or the Phantom GXs that all came out last year. So, it's been really good. But no matter if you agree with me or not, I'd really love to hear your take on the top 5 best new boot list of 2023. So let me know in the comment section right down below. Remember that if you want to buy either of these or the honorable mentions, click the link to Unisport right over there. Of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel with the notifications on if you haven't done that already. And check out playlist right down there if you want to learn some cool skills. And with those words, I'll be signing off. Cheerio.